Me and Josh had always played video games. We've always enjoyed games. So as we both got older, we would come up with these ideas. Josh had always had stories, but as it turned out, I could draw somewhat, and we would bounce ideas off each other. And we always thought how cool it would be to, make video games. But I never thought it would, coalesce or anything. Fast forward 10 years down the road, been a wild roller coaster. We have so many friends that we've made in the game industry. We've gone to E3 for the last 6 years. This will be our 7th coming up. We've gone to PSX. This is my first year. This was Josh's second.
So far I've been to every PSX and it just mushroomed from what it was last year. Last year was already really cool and it was a fun event. This year it just blew up in size because you had 3 different floors of stuff going on versus 1 floor last year. And all these massive booths and the Capcom tournament going on. And it was just so cool to see how they started something and grew it so exponentially in just the course of a year, and see that their event was such a success that they had to hang a sign on the outside door that said sold out.
As of last year at E3, I was completely not sold on VR. I thought it was stupid. It was worse than the Virtual Boy, in my opinion, until I played The Kitchen. And The Kitchen sold me in one 10-minute setting. You're sitting in a chair in a kitchen and you're tied up, and you look around and everything you're looking at, your head tracks perfectly. You can look at your wrists, you're holding the controller, so it tracks the controller. You can see where your wrists, it's just freaky.
Probably a big highlight was getting to play Rigs. That's a VR game by Gorilla Cambridge that is a multiplayer kind of arena shooter done in VR, and it was just a very big sell for me on why I need a VR headset.
You can actually mess with something off screen. You don't even have to have it on screen to be messing with it and interacting with it, and that's never been done before. That's never been able to be done before.
For us, it's kind of the nerdy family reunion, both with people on team and people at Sony and all these other companies that we're friends with, that, we talk to them all the time online, but you only get to see them in person once every 6 months. And so it was cool to be able to see them and see all their hard work paying off, because, we have friends that have been working on, for instance, games like Guns Up forever, toiling away on it, and to see them finally release it and get a chance to have their baby out in the wild, it was so cool to be able to go up and say, hey, congratulations on that.
With it being just Sony, there's no competition. It's all just kind of this family environment where everybody gets along and there's no real fighting between the different consoles and stuff, and for them to have their own event like this where you can talk to the devs and really get down to the brass tacks of not only, hey, hi and bye, fanboy moment, can you sign this? But you can also get down to nitty gritty stuff, like talking about hey, I'm having this problem with my model, it's not lining up right here, how do you guys fix that in Unity? Where do you guys do this with your code? Just all kinds of stuff like that. And they're actually willing to sit there, talk to you, hey, we had this problem, this is how we fixed it. And maybe I can help you this way, or, send me an email and I might be able to get someone to help you with that. And it's just holy crap, I'm talking to these guys and they're actually treating me like a colleague or like a friend.
We, for instance, got to show David Jaffe, pictures of one of the models that one of our artists, Philip, created for our game, and getting feedback off of that, where at first you're just, in your head, you're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and show what we're working on. But then you walk away and went, holy crap, I just showed industry icon our company's work, and they were totally digging it. And you get that moment where all of a sudden inside your head, you're hyperventilating and going, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened.
You always hear about lightning striking someone and their dreams coming true because lightning struck, and they don't tell you about the 10 years previous to the lightning. You're just hearing about them today, but there's been a lot of work put into it. And Josh has a statement. It's not being struck by lightning, but building the biggest lightning rod possible to be struck.
When you would first be a startup company going to places like E3, you're kind of a small fish in a really big ocean. Against that tide, we built a lot of connections and built some really strong friendships. But it went so much faster when you got stuff like PSX, because you have all these industry icons that actually have time to hang back a little bit, really get to know you, really get invested in learning what you're about. For us, it's kind of a big deal because, we started off in 2006, just a super tiny company, barely registered in our state, really didn't know a lot about what we were doing.
I mean, we've gotten to the point where we're actually being praised by industry professionals, people who make $1 million deals every day, saying, wow, that's really wicked. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Not that I thought it would be not wicked. It's just, you know, you guys are indie, you know, you guys are just starting out, and it's, you know, that, damn.
Saying the sentence out loud, oh yeah, you know, we showed David Jaffe some of the art we've been working on and got critiques on it and got feedback, and he loved it. And it's like going through my head going, holy crap, you know, a company our size shouldn't be able to say that yet, but it's because of this approach to stuff like PSX that we now have that avenue. And I mean, you can't put a price tag on that kind of exposure where you can be treated like a colleague and build that kind of relationship.
I just can't wait for us to be on the stage presenting our first game at E3, PSX, whatever it may be. And I told that to one of the guys at Sony today, and he's like, yeah, we can't wait for you guys to be there with us too, so.